In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like running a photo and a video business during a pandemic and a pseudo lockdown. We're going to be talking about the positives, the negatives, and maybe what we can expect going towards the future. So let's just jump into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan Moore. I'm a photographer, filmmaker, and a creative entrepreneur, and I like to make videos like these for other creative entrepreneurs who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel where I talk about building a business on your terms. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like to run a photo and video business during a pandemic. You know, some of the ways that it's affected my business personally, what we can maybe expect going in towards the future, and also give you guys some ideas, tools, and resources that you can use to start generating revenue in your business today. So let's jump into first what it's like running a photo/video business during a pandemic. Now, I understand that around the country, different parts of different regions, depending on where you're located, it's going to be different for everybody. I'm located up in the Northeast in New Jersey, so when the lockdowns first started, they were pretty intense. I mean, they were even locking down outdoor spaces. You couldn't go to the park, you couldn't go to the beach. They weren't having it. But since then, the lockdowns have eased up. Work has been coming back in. Initially, at first, a lot of work was kind of slowed, right? Being that I do photo, I do video, it's a lot of in-person. So, you know, it was a lot of confusion around that. Do you wear a mask? Do you not wear the mask? You know, how close can you be? Can you not be? Also, the clients that I was working with a lot of restaurants. So, as you know, they have suffered, you know, some of the hardest, you know, hits during this whole transition. But at the same time, you know, other industries have been thriving, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about. So for the most part, when the lockdowns came in, the work had slowed down, but it did continue to stay steady, and it actually opened up some different opportunities. So the way that the work affected my business negatively was that work had slowed up. A lot of the clients I had been working with had, you know, slowed down. They had to scale back. Everybody was looking at their books, checking their expenses, and figuring out where they can cut costs. Also, this affected me negatively because, like I said, I do photo, I do video, so a lot of that work is in person. Some of it is remote, but for the most part, it's in person. Now, some of the positive things that have happened was that a lot of the work that I was doing in person was able to be done remotely, so that was able to continue work and flow coming in. Also, it created some different revenue generating opportunities, and it made me focus on some of the different other parts of my business where I could be, you know, creating revenue, creating digital assets, and I didn't actually have to go out and land clients or find new clients or, you know, be face to face. I can continue to social distance or be locked in the house and still continue to bring in money. Also, for the freelancers and the gig economy workers out there, you know that with this whole lockdown, it opened up a slew of government programs, which was nice because it allowed us to get funding into our business at times that we probably needed it the most. So like I said, it had positive effects, it had negative effects, but for the most part, you know, there was still work out there to be done. There's still clients out there that are spending money. And for some clients, this turned out to be a great opportunity. And for some of the clients that I had, it turned out to be just not so great. But either way, as long as you're flexible and you're willing to see where the different opportunities may lie, there's always work out there that you can get. Now, what this means for the future is I'm not sure. Right now, I still feel like things are pretty uncertain. There are certain industries that really, you know, took off. Like, say, for example, real estate was a big one. So I know people who were doing 3D scans or they were doing video walkthroughs, which turned out to be pretty profitable during this whole time because a lot of people were either scared to go out or they didn't want to go in somebody's house or people didn't want them in their house. So creating this kind of content turned out to be really profitable. All right. Also, I noticed that, you know, for me personally, I started doing a lot more commercials. All right. I started doing a lot of things virtually. I started using a lot more stock footage than I normally would. Before, it would be me going out, shooting and getting this, the footage, setting up, you know, shoots and dates and all this other stuff. But it really opened up my eyes to how much I can use that stock footage, how valuable it is and how I can still create, the same type of quality of content, if not even better content for my clients and for those specific clients who are out there looking for that. And this is really great because it allowed me to spend more time with my family, even though, yes, I do like working in the field. There have been jobs where I still had to go out into the field and actually shoot in person, but a lot of jobs I've been able to do remotely, which is pretty good. Also, some of the positive things that came as a result of the whole lockdown was it forced me to focus on different revenue streams, right? So, there was a few things that I was dabbling in, but since I had a little bit more time on my hand, I started focusing on those things more. So whether that was creating my own stock footage, my own stock photography, whether that was focusing a little bit more on my passive income ideas, which I've talked about on this video, and one of which was actually selling t-shirts. Now, that's a whole different video for a different time, but that allowed me to create different streams of revenue so money was still coming in. Also, it gave me more time to focus on this actual YouTube channel and creating videos and, making resources for other freelancers that I thought was valuable. Now, the whole goal wasn't to cash in, but it turned out to be a pretty lucrative, whole deal. And it's allowed me to create, more passive income. Now, not completely passive. You still got to be active, but it's allowed me to create more revenue and, have money steadily flowing into my business at a time where things are very uncertain. So in regards to the future, like I said, it's still uncertain. I really don't know. We don't know if there's going to be a second wave of lockdowns. We're coming into the winter months. We're coming into flu season. And I believe this is going to be problematic because anybody who coughs, anybody who sneezes, anybody who, grunts the wrong way is going to be suspect, right? And you're going to have people who don't care. You're going to have people who are really scared. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a lot of uncertainty. So in that respect, I would say if you're running a photo business, you're running a video business, now might be the time to focus on different types of ways where you can create digital assets, whether that's stock photography, whether that's selling presets, whether that's doing some type of online marketing or affiliate marketing or something along those lines where you have more control over the workflow. You're not waiting for a client to come and hire you and, bring you into a project. Those usually pay more, but at the same time, slow money is better than no money, and you always want to have something, coming in. So when you can actually transition from doing a service into creating a product, in my opinion, creating a product is actually better because it's scalable, it's repeatable, and especially if it's a digital product, you can sell that same product over and over and over again and really scale up your revenue. So with all that being said, here's a few things that you can do right now to start creating and generating revenue into your business. I would personally focus on creating assets, right? So whether that be, presets, if you have a large following, you have people who really like your work, maybe creating presets. Also, you can create more stock footage, stock photography, because a lot of these things are in your own personal control. You can also do online marketing, affiliate marketing. You can do gear reviews if you already have a channel established. If not, maybe now's a good time to actually start establishing a channel, focusing on creating your own digital revenue, or your own digital assets so you can create revenue, right? Because the great thing about doing video, doing photo is that we can create a lot of our own digital assets. A lot of times we do create our own digital assets that, we don't actually look to sell. We just look to use them in our own personal projects or in our own personal workflow. So now might be a real good time to think about how you're taking those digital assets, how you're using them, how you can package those up, create some type of product that you can sell over and over and over again. And then it takes off some of the stress of having to always go out and land a new client or waiting for somebody to hire you or waiting to see what's going to happen with your client's business. Because right now, there's still a lot of uncertainty going on out there. And, we don't really know what's going to happen in the future and if there is going to be a second round of lockdowns. So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully I provided you some type of value. If so, please drop me a like. Give me a comment. Let me know what's going on with you and your business right now. How are things looking on your side of the world? You know, like I've said, I know a lot of, photographers and videographers and freelancers who actually strived during this whole pandemic. And then I know a lot who actually haven't been doing so great, but there's always some type of way that you can create something to, keep things moving. So with all that being said, this is your man, Jonathan Moore, and I'm signing out. Peace.